Greetings, Langonauts. We are back for the 10th installment in the Ghanongga exploration series that we're doing, where we're learning a bit about Ghanongga language from Solomon Islands. So we've already got...
I'm Tyler.
I'm Peter, by the way. Yep, Tyler and Peter. Sorry, I forgot to introduce us. So when we left, we were working through kind of the end of this flex file, trying to figure out what sentences left that we could. And we're getting to the point where we're going to have to start entering the second story to solve everything, which we've got the second story uploaded, so we'll start solving that soon.
Happening by and by.
Yeah, little by little. We're getting there. All right, but what we're going to do is go back to the beginning and take some guesses at what these things might mean, since we have more words now. So we get Yeli in 1.3 and 1.4. We get it with Kenny both times, which we have Kenny as out. So let's look for Gaily right quick. It only gives us Gaily once here, but yet we have it more than once in our... Aha, there's a typo here. That gives us Gaily again.
Typo, you say?
Yeah, here. Azai Kenny Gaily Iru was Azai Kenny Gay Iru.
Oh, did you compared it with the original scan?
I'll just compare it right now.
Oh, you've got the booklet actually. You don't need the scan.
It does say Gaily in the original.
Wow, good catch. So you fixed it there. Have you fixed it in the Flex?
In Flex, it was fine. It was in the spreadsheet.
Fragile thing.
But one of the interesting things about this example is that you get... Oh, let me compare again with the original. Okay, so you get Kenny Gaily Gendi and Kenny Gaily Iru. So what is going on here? We know Gendi is food. So when they've been out, does Iru have something to do with past tense? One day, the three brothers went out to look for crabs. So when they'd been out, Azai Kenny Gaily Iru. And these are the only two Gailis we get in the whole thing. Maybe we can't solve that.
Kenny and Yeli together. Yeah.
They go together, yeah. But we get Kenny a bunch of times without Gaily. Shall we go ahead and make Azai so? That seems to be one we're pretty sure about.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, we'll make a new entry for so, which of course we've already got other so's. But we're just going to leave it for now. I don't know what else to do. All right, but it fills out a bunch of empty spots for us. We'll leave As far as Tugo and Ka, I think Ka is a numeral marker, but we don't have very good evidence for it.
All right.
And Tugu, we are torn between also and some sort of completed context. And based on this story alone, we actually can't tell for sure.
Yeah.
So for these first, say, 6 sentences, we've basically taken it as far as we can without adding in another story and learning new things. That is my kind of food today. Now we have very little on this. Gengu is my kind of food. We don't know what vela or pange or nari means. I don't think we get any of them again in the story. Let's look for vea. We get vea once. Of course, veala also only once. What about pange?
Yeah, depending on what that yields. Let's
Once?
Let's search for the English word today there, if you would.
It's also only once.
I think that's either those two words together or one of them is going to mean today then.
What about nari? Also only once. So as far as we know, something needs to be like my kind of food, but I don't think we can solve it. Now, mana, did we not solve this? Mana should be I will, right?
That's a pronoun, yeah.
All right, let's go back and look at our... We were looking at the next story briefly. Now we're going to go back and look for mana in this text. Yeah, mana is pretty clearly I will. So I'm going to go ahead and create that entry. I believe we're calling this one singular dot future. Let's check by doing one of the other ones. So we can see.
Do a dot F or just, oh, okay, haven't identified.
Yeah,
no.
future.
Yeah.
One singular dot fut. Oop. As a slash, not a dot. Keyboard's a little crooked and I mistyped. Going back to gloss. Now we need Nyango Tutia. I will follow and find it and eat some.
Nyango.
Nyango or Tutia means, one of them means follow and one of them means find. We'll go back to our spreadsheet.
Okay, this is it.
Let's look and see if we see Nyango anywhere else, but we also might search follow and find and see if that.
I believe Nyango means find, but yeah, I think those are the ones that occurred together.
We get Nyango 3 times.
Let's see if Tuti is up.
Find your own. Giant came back to find them, he thought. But what's this? And then we get Nyango Tuti again. Tuti Ria. So Tuti Ria, we have a guess now that Tuti Ria is whatever verb them, and Tuti is one singular.
It, yeah, find him.
That's where they say find it and eat some. Let's search for Tuti. We only get it in those 2. Let's go back to our second Nyango. So here we get it without. No, we always get it together. Nyango Tuti together seems to mean find.
Uh-huh.
No, here we get Nyango Gemu. Find your own. Gemu, do we already have Gemu in there?
It just occurs in the one place, I think.
It must be like the gay of food stuff. So it's your food. Your own food. I'm pretty sure Nyango means find and Tutia means follow, and that Nyango Tutia follow find is some kind of track or maybe a word we don't exactly have in English, but I feel confident to call Nyango find. What do you think?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Although, is it possible that Nyango is the follow one? Did we rule it out?
Well, we get Nyango once here in Kai. Ago.
That's fine. Okay.
Nyango Gua. Yeah.
You find it. Ah, how nice. Ago, you think that's a pronoun? Have we identified it?
I believe we have. I believe it's second person singular.
And the gu suffix there, second agent.
Maybe nyorogu is its own verb and a is a agreement suffix.
I'm thinking of Nyango. Yeah, okay, could be.
Because otherwise we don't see anything about say. So we've had gua is normally say, and I think that probably there was a history of gua being like Roviana where it was so, and then they had this reinterpretation, or one of them had the reinterpretation, but gu might also occur as other things. But yeah, Nyanga we're pretty certain on. Tuti is what we're less certain on. But Nyanga we're pretty certain on. Although I'm leaving the word class open because it is still not that certain, I guess. At least with Tutia, we can go ahead and mark that we're pretty sure this is an object agreement suffix. I don't know if we should call Tuti follow or not. Gazavotu. Next one we don't know. What do you think? Call Tita follow? Tuti follow for now? Or leave it agnostic?
Let's call it follow. Let's do it.
We can change it later if we disagree.
Yeah. Exactly. Change it later.
Follow. All right, we're going to leave it. So find follow together has meaning like find. There may be distinctions in a particular language that we don't have in English. So that's what we're guessing here. All right, we've got quite a bit now. There's nothing unidentified except for, if you look at the analyze, we actually don't have an entry for Gazavotu. Oop, I went way too far somehow.
I gotta select the word to prevent that.
I did. I got my back to Tutia. So we don't have Gazavotu totally solved. We know it means jumped out. We could create one entry for it. It's pretty clearly a compound. And I'll leave it at that. I have a very good idea which part means jump because it's the same word in Roviana.
Okay.
So we'll leave it agnostic. Although if I were doing this by myself, probably I would look at related languages and go through their dictionaries and try to figure out some more things. So I probably would appeal to the Roviana dictionary. Now, veveina, we treat that like a suffix. We treat that like reduplication. Did we not get ve already?
Bit of a mystery.
Oh, we were solving on this one last time, I believe.
Right, yeah.
And we think ve means place, maybe? Hi, Vevina. Where place did you find it? Hi, Vevina. This is Nave Ba. That fellow went there in the small holes in the trunk, but he didn't take any.
Place.
Where you took this fish again. Ve Panda. The shallow places, I believe. Yeah, let's leave it for here now in this sentence, and we'll once we get down to those sentences, we'll be for sure if it was place or not. Here we've got some good ones. Ketakoi, nga, bango. We're missing a bunch. We have bango twice in it. Then they said, where there are crab holes, look close by. The crab will be there, not them. They're different ones. You'll find well back in the hole.
Oh, yeah.
So nake is not them or not it.
Yeah, right.
Look close by. Va tatazana azai. I believe. No, it should be go dogoria.
Ndogoria might. I was gonna say it might be close by, but it looks like a verb.
It is definitely very verb looking. I'm gonna go ahead and say it's that, and that we get dogoro when it's by itself. Now resist spoiling it. This is the same word in Roviana. It's a cognate. So I immediately recognize it.
In the new text, we're gonna get veveindi. So hold on.
All right, so we'll get some. Then it'll be plural, probably for places or something. Okay, now what's puzzling is this nga baungo, and we get baungo twice in there.
So that might be the word hole then. because crab hole is twice in the translation.
You will see.
Now that na, I keep wondering, it's gnawing at me in the top line. Is that a mistake? Should it be na?
Let's check the
6, yeah, the original. Good. So
where are we in it?
that's good. If it's 3, that's still going to be on the first page.
First page, paragraph 3. It's a little bigger so we can see it.
Okay, no, it has it underlined. Yeah, I just thought could be a mistake there, but let's assume we'll be faithful to this.
Or there could be a harmony thing. It could be the non. There's not that I have any evidence of this. It's everybody has their one weird thing. Mine is that like I'm constantly looking for this weird velar harmony stuff in languages where there's just little evidence for it.
Yin yang.
Do we have a guess on goto? Because we see goto a couple times.
My guess is that it's thing.
Let's see if we can nail down goto right quick. There's the sense we're on. Goto has a he didn't take thrust his hand into the harder ones.
So where it says the harder ones, I'm thinking goto is that ones, that sort of like a pronoun placeholder.
But the boys were doing a different thing. Yeah, it does occur with thing quite again. Sogoria. Ai, Betoko. Now, Betoko is who knows?
Oh, it's see that. Right? Beto is see. No, bati
Beto
is
is
see.
finish.
Finish, yeah. Betoko. Finish so that. The result was, could be, so then.
So then, yeah.
And then the result was.
Boy, this is a puzzling one. I think we said kamu means come. It sounds like come.
It does, yeah, it does happen. And teku are nice alignments. Hoto.
It was different.
Thing was different.
Yeah, it does seem like a thing. Now this one tests us because you get goto aza za, but za should be used mostly for subject agreement, right?
He saw.
Aza is like that or it. Goto is thing, it, the see it. It existed in the Nulu. At the Nulu. All right, I think thing for Goto is pretty good.
The ones you want, the different ones, there it is. Aza might be different, actually.
Whoa, no, because you're not getting different ones in this there.
I see. Well, could be, just not translated.
Goto Aza comes together a lot.
Those things.
Yeah, that could be how it's working. There's Goto Zake.
Not those things.
I think thing not is yes. I think that no, that's Zaka, so not Zake. Zaka Zatu. Nge Korapa Roitini. Boy, what a puzzle.
I agree.
The last ones are always hard. I mean, the first ones and last ones are usually the hardest. The middle stuff is where it gets fun. I just don't know with Goto, although ones or thing seems to be the best we could do here. Suffice to say, we've got a lot to work on. Now, the Nake, let's see when Nake occurs, because we know it's some sort of negation.
Yeah.
What we want to know is what it's negating. So this one is like, not those ones, is the sense we're on, of course.
Nake, na plural.
Not that thing. Nake pa baungo. Okay. So we get baungo again. Don't worry about then. Not. Whew, 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 whew. But not. You see those holes there by the edge of the stream, but not. Oh, I don't even know. This confuses me more on Baongo what it might mean than I was before.
Is it not the holes? The crab holes?
Could that be what it means here? Don't worry about them.
I see. Wait, but the holes are mentioned. You will see those holes there by the edge of the stream.
Yeah,
The
it
holes
was
in the sentence.
na keketaina na pie. Pie means stream, so this is the edge of the stream, but not in the holes. Na munake.
Yeah, that's what it's
stream.
saying. That's what it's saying not to worry about. You will see those holes there. Don't worry about them.
You'll see by the edge of the stream, but not the holes. Yeah. So Baongo might be whole. I think that's not a bad take. There we get Nake and Munake.
Exactly.
Something that troubled us last time.
You, them, negative, worry about them. It seems to be. Muna.
Oh, so if there was a space, we wouldn't even be concerned. We would be saying.
We're used to seeing Muna and also Nake, but they're really just all compounds, and here it's a three-parter.
Now,
is my take.
Why do you get subject and it should be double subject because so far all of it's been agreeing with subject, and this does bring up. Let's try to finish Nake before we move on. Nake Aza, not those. Muna, you go look for Nakeria, not those either. So Nake seems to always be plural. Oh, we've started entering the new text already, so we gotta.
Oh yeah.
What did we have for Zake right quick? Let's check our story right quick. I believe we can search through our text, right?
Search through our text.
I'm trying to, but my Zoom menus are in the way here. Yeah, right here in Flex.
Yeah.
Text and words.
Okay.
So I'm going to the concordance and I'm looking for Zake so I can remember what Zake is. All right. Zake is 3 singular negative, right?
Seems right.
Where we have it. By the way, for the viewer, how I got here is I'm still in text and words on this top left thing.
That's right.
You can go between interlinear text and concordance, and the concordance will help you search through things.
That's right.
Although we have this Flex spreadsheet, or the Google Docs spreadsheet, which I think is easier to look at. You could do all of this in Flex if you really wanted to. So I'm going to go back for Nake again. Search. It does seem to be plural, which is puzzling, but
it aligns nicely with Hawaiian. Na is the plural article.
All right.
Singular kake and plural na. Not bad.
We can really never get too frustrated that I didn't take us back to where we were. So I'm going to have to go back to the concordance and search our Nake again. Nake search. We'll go to the first one. I'll click on that Nake, and that should take us back in interlinear text right there. It did not.
I did not either.
Oh, now I've lost where we are. This is why the sheet is pretty useful, by the way. We'll go Nake again. We'll go to our first Nake.
Disadvantage of the sheet is it's easy to introduce errors, but you just gotta be on your toes.
Paragraph 3.
Keep your head on a swivel and your eyes peeled. Oh, we have an initial which was missing. Letter E beginning a word.
Now you got one?
Yep, we found one in text 2 here. How nice.
I believe in Roviana Ehara is blood. I have to double check right quick to make sure, but that would be one.
Almost like a Greek word for blood, if I recall.
Well, hopefully I'm not getting confused here. Look at Roviana right quick, just to double check. Because we expect there to be some similarities, although there are certainly words, sounds in, yeah, Ehara, blood. Just wanted to not misquote Roviana. Nake, let's say 3PL negative. What do you think?
Ooh, sounds good to me.
So Ake is negative. We'll call
Or just K maybe. You got a number sign there.
yeah, I'm just checking to make sure it's consistent with the 3 singular negative, which we don't have.
Well, yeah, we hadn't settled on an analysis for Zake yet.
We haven't put Zake in yet. So now I'm going to go over to lexicon and check for Zake right quick, make sure that we haven't already put it in with something, and we have not. We have it as 3 singular subjects, so in Zake we have it decomposable. So this is another decision. I guess we can do 3 plural. I think what I'd rather do for these is treat it all like one thing.
Okay.
And I think I'd rather go back to Zake and make it treat it like one thing instead of decomposable as well.
Well, remember that in the lexicon you can just show what the parts are.
Yeah.
There. I was very pleased when I learned that. Instead of having to make that decision in the text itself, put it all in the dictionary.
How about bongo? Want to go ahead and say this means holes or hole?
Let's say crab hole.
Crab dot hole.
Very good.
And if we learn that it's not specific to crabs, we can change our mind later.
Give it new meanings too.
Still a lot of confusing stuff. What Zana means, not clear. I do know what Gogo means.
Well, I think Zana is going to be a fusion as well. Quasi pronoun agreement type of thing. But
if it is based on what we've seen, it should be 3 singular, 3 plural.
Yep. So Zana, maybe let's take a moment, if you don't mind, to look at instances of Zana.
Let's look at instances of Zana.
Especially short sentences will be instructive.
Zana, yes. The longer the sentence, the more confusing it is.
Okay, there's one short one, paragraph 4. They gave him the clam's foot.
Oh, I don't get it in paragraph 4 at all. Oh, there we go.
Gari bani na toga toga zana.
Where is that?
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. It's paragraph 4 on page 8, which is actually 10. Paragraph. Okay, it's line 61, line number 61 in this sheet. So scroll down a few, or just jump. Yeah, there you go. That's what I'm looking at.
He gave man's foot. He ate it. They gave him.
Gari pronoun they. Vani. Vani on the by its own is the verb root, right? It's not va plus ni, but vani.
Yeah, and vani has been. We use vani for give.
Seems like, but I've been wrong before.
So I'm going to jump over to the concordance.
Yeah, this is nice. We can do 2 searches in different places.
See if we have solved vani at all. We're calling it give. We're actually.
Are we analyzing it?
Yeah, we're calling it give. We want Gadi Vani. Toga toga. There we are. Gadi Vani na toga toga zana. Hugu.
There looks like there's also a verb root, zana.
So Vani definitely means give. Toga toga, I would say, is clam's foot.
Sounds good.
So we've got one we can do there. Toga toga, and we can actually go to analyze tab right here.
God.
I'm going to call it clam.foot. What do you think?
Yep, sounds good. What is a clam? Clams don't have feet.
What is it really?
The part where they anchor themselves?
I think it would look more like a tongue. Clams can stick something out and actually move themselves with it.
Yeah,
I
okay.
would call it the foot, I think. Of course, like this is Tyler and Peter who live hundreds of miles from the coast.
True. Any coast, yeah, let alone this coast where these people live.
Yeah, but if every single person you knew who spoke your language dealt with the reef almost every single day, you'd probably everybody would know specific words for. We may have mentioned this before, but people are often surprised. Like, there's I would call it like almost like people when they study indigenous languages are often surprised how many names there are for animal related things, like where they live, the names of all their babies, and things like this. I remember a linguist saying like, "Oh, the person who's teaching me the language was laughed at me so hard when I said baby rabbit, and I didn't have a name for baby rabbits, like a specific name." But in English, we used to have almost all of
That's
these
right.
things filled
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
It's just that as it became less important to the culture, we don't know those words. They might even be considered archaic right now.
Right.
For example, Tyler, do you know where a rabbit lives?
In a warren?
I knew you would know everything. They
That's
did a
my problem.
test like this at University of Hawaii once to show people that they don't know the things even in English. And I've told you, but I haven't told the viewers. Bob Lust got them all correct. So it worked on everybody but Bob Lust. He got everything correct.
The guy who writes dictionaries by hand, he knew him.
Yes, Bob Lust can remember words like the first time I ever met him, he's like, "Oh, you study Roviana?" And he started listing dozens of Roviana Austronesian retentions off the top of his head and asking questions about him. Like, then he started
He,
speaking to me in Portuguese, like, "What, you speak Portuguese too?" And
wow. And
he,
there's like more than 1,000 Austronesian languages, right?
that's right. There's over 1,200. Um, and I would say you aren't going to name an Austronesian language he doesn't know a word in. So
Mm,
that would be my guess. And for some of them, he knows thousands of words or new. Sorry, rest in peace.
rest in peace.
All right, we're going to continue on with this same sentence we're already in. Now we've got Ngata. Now Ghana, I begin to think this Ghana Zana business. Notice it's coming like at the end.
Okay.
I think Tugu here.
Uh-huh.
Well, we looked at that. What are you cooking, my three grandchildren? Give me a little. The fellow came and sat by them by the edge of the fire. They gave him the clan's foot, and he ate that. They gave him the meat, and he ate that. They gave him the shell, he licked that. They gave him the big claw, he ate that, etc. He ate, so nothing was left. I would say that Tugu, I was thinking it means also. He ate that too. He ate that too. But this is looking extremely like a perfect. What do you think?
I think it contains two, and my speculation on the who is that it's the say root. That there's a connection there. Done, also it is said, or something. Done, it is said.
Well, I think the say root comes from something else, and it didn't originally mean say. So I think this who, because we've had another word for say or speak or something like that already.
Paranga.
Yeah, and so we get those kind of words. Um, I believe this gu came from a discourse particle that was associated with a word for speak. That's a big leap. And
You're the
I could be
expert.
wrong. And
Yeah.
I am using outside knowledge that I've studied other languages related. But if that were the case, I've seen this combining of perfects before to have some more perfect in Austronesian, in Oceanic particularly. So, but I also think that tugu could mean also, but this one comes first in the discourse. So this sentence to me is the most convincing that tugu doesn't mean also. We have tu as past tense, right?
Uh-huh.
Maybe this is like past perfect.
Oh, Hattie. But does that work in this context? I don't know.
They gave him the clan's foot. He ate that. I think it's more like he ate that completely. A more completive aspect, and that's why I was calling it perfect. Aspect is really, really, really slippery, especially even say we had a Ghanongga speaker and we asked them what Tugu was and they started using it in sentences, we might not figure out what it is for years.
And we're certainly not disrespecting anyone. It's really, really hard to say what certain elements of your language mean, to define them convincingly, even if you use them all the time. I guarantee it, even in your own language that you're an expert in, there will be stuff you're stumped by.
Well, and language is very unconscious for us. So like, it's actually the rare people who are super aware of what they're saying. And then those people have to be trained a bunch to be able to articulate it in a way that someone who doesn't speak the language can understand what they mean. For example, in English, I would say like, I will have been going to school for 10 years in the fall or whatever. That's a made up sentence, but will have been going is not an obvious set of aspect and tense for someone who's a second language speaker. It's going to be tricky to figure that out. Let me ask you, Tyler, are you, can we go ahead and gloss Tugu as some sort of past or perfect or something like that?
Fine by me, yeah. I think
Let's call it PFT for now, since we don't have that, and then we'll modify once we really know. Hopefully by the end of this booklet, we'll know. I already have 2 as perfect.
perfect. Two, perfecter. Two perfect, two particle.
What's the difference between perfect and perfective?
Well, my understanding, perfect is a set of, it describes an inflection class in certain languages, but perfective is an aspect. Perfective aspect, entirety of events,
regardless of the internal
other two aspects, refers to a past situation relevant to the present. Entirety of events, past situation relevant to the present. Well, since this is a story, it's probably not a perfect aspect. It's not really relevant to us.
Huh. Yeah, this is confusing. I kind of guess, though, this might be a difference between perfect and perfective. So just to read the Wikipedia summary, in the perfect aspect, the event being referred to is viewed as already completed at the time of reference, which would be true for our stories. It should not be confused with the perfective aspect, which marks a situation as a single event without internal structure and does not imply prior occurrence or present relevance as the perfect aspect does. See if they'll give us an example in English.
Well, when people say our grammatical terminology needs an overhaul, I'm inclined to agree.
Extremely not joking, because it's very hard to tell the difference. I have a PhD in linguistics. I specialize in syntax.
It's a mess.
They're giving us a bunch of potential things to use, though.
Okay.
Do you want to really call this perfect 2 and put a little 2 after it, just so we know what they are?
I mean, for now it will work. Yeah, it's not ready for prime time.
Yeah, it's not. That's not great. We're just going to call it this. We're calling it perfect 2, by the way, instead of perfect by itself, just because we're sure it has something to do with perfect. So maybe it's perfective, or maybe the other one's perfective. Look, there can be resultative perfect, continuative perfect, anterior. We don't know which one is which yet. So we're just saying this is the non-base perfect because it's 2 things combined. That's it. So it's iteration number 2. I'm leaving it like that because I just don't know.
Yep. Perfect with some other little morpheme on it, some little marker. Ate it. I don't know. I would want to link those. Let's remind viewers of what the little chain icon does. So go to
Tugu.
Yeah. Go click over to Rania. And then you can link them, and there you can say ate it. The tu and tugu make your verb a past. They show it's a past tense event, completed action. All right, I'm just now finishing the transfer of the first page from our second story. Hallelujah. And on to the English.
Why isn't it guessing Ghani? Come on now. All right. Ate it. So those are going to be...
Oh, because it has to see it with Tugu. It memorizes just what's in the box.
So it should be good now.
Just the box, the whole box. It doesn't
automatically link these again.
That's right. It doesn't do that. But
Yeah.
now, once you do link them, it will know. It'll have a guess.
Okay, good.
Mhm.
I'll put a
And
period.
shows Zamea Tugu. Wow.
And he just said Gania for this one.
So maybe that who shows that it's continuative, because I don't think you get it in the final position in a strain like this. To be seen.
Why is this? I'm gonna unlink them just so it's back to just that it fills it in on its own. I do agree that they are linked.
Link, link, lunk.
Vani, no. So now we've got no and nga and na all looking like they're in the article position here, because I would guess it's na koena. Okay, I wanted to mention about this Vani na togotonga. Well, no, yeah, we're reaching a point where I'm extremely puzzled, to say the least. All right. The good smell that made the giant forget his anger.
Made the giant forget his anger.
Tagigiri.
Anger all done because of the pleasing smell.
All right, it's pretty good. We've got all done from something else.
It is, and that's passed. Oh, 2 is marked passed, so this one could be perfect. Oh, that's just the word gloss. Never mind, not the lexicon.
Let's check what it is in the.
Perfect and pist.
I think it probably is passed, and then the tugu is perfect. But we'll leave it as it is for now. So Tori Loy. Now, where else do we have Tori? We can figure out. We have very little left. The Tagigiri has something to do with the good smell. Forget his anger. So one of these might be forget, one of these might be anger. Let's search for Tori or Loy and see what it gives us. So search for Tori in the. Those 3 had already gone divide up a clam. He brought it up for grilling over an open fire. Looks kind of like brought.
Yeah.
Let's see the next one.
Zaidu. Wow.
Those 3 had already gone. Aritori. If it's gone, like left, then Loy would be anger. Those 3 had already gone. They left still. They leave still. So already left. Because still perfect. They have already left. They have still left, something like this. Then we get Tori again. And he had brought it up for grilling over an open fire. Ko Tori zai tu na paraparago. Not easy to say. This is the one we were on where anger had left. Let's see this one. Shortish sentence. They, but then the 3 had been diving. Left, gone diving. I think gone or leave is what's correct here. Suvu suvu must mean diving. It's for duplicated also, which we know means progressive. It's progressive in the text. Let's go ahead and update Suvu suvu.
Yeah. Let's actually do another baseline search. I think we have Suvu with that's not reduplicated too. Can you?
Let's check. We'll check here to keep our spot.
As you wish.
Suvu, where are you, Suvu? But the 3 had been diving. There it is. Reduplicated. The 3 had already gone and dived a clam. Yes. Okay. Suvu's definitely dive. Without a doubt. We may have already solved Suvu has dived it. All right. So this is how I'm going to do this reduplication. What do you think? Letting it recognize both roots, and then the word gloss will be diving.
It's good to me. But I would, as you know, I love the link. I would link it with the 2 there. We're diving. Had been diving. Let's keep the free translation tense there for English. Had been diving. Although maybe the tori adds the had been meaning. We can keep it that way for now. Ko arikue.
I think
Cool.
tori means leave. That's what I want to change it to. What do you think?
Can we do a quick scan through those hits there? Those concordance results?
For tori?
Yeah, those four that are just up there.
Okay, so here's one. Those they had already gone and dived a clam.
Can you put it on gloss view, please?
Oh yeah, this is crazy looking. So the 3 had already gone up here.
Okay.
And he brought it up for grilling over an open fire and divided a clam.
And we're going to say it means go, leave. Is that your hypothesis?
Something like that. Yeah, it doesn't work as great here. The 3.
We're assuming it's the same word. Of course, logically, it could be homophones or an error. But let's try to identify a single
3
stable.
fellows. So left Zai, whatever that means.
Oh, it may also be azai, like a then or something. But that doesn't really work here.
Let's look at our next tori and see if it helps us out. Oh, it's the same sentence.
Same sentence, just twice. Good smell.
So the good smell made the giant forget his anger.
Go and forget, all done.
Leave anger all done.
Okay, not bad. Actually, tori. So
and the
those
3
are
had
four.
been diving. Had left diving.
It looks like the second text that I'm just inputting doesn't contain tori.
Tori's best translation is gone in English.
All right.
But gone in English has like kind of 2 meanings or 3 meanings at least. Like gone could mean left in the past tense. Gone could mean nothing left.
Mm-hmm.
It seems the gone could also be an aspect like gone fishing or something. So there's a striking overlap, but that makes me a little bit hesitant actually. Let's look for Loy, our suspect for anger. It's only in the 1 sentence. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to our story here and look for anger. We only get it in the 1 sentence. Oh, I don't know. We don't get tori in our other story at all. It does seem like tori probably means anger though, or left. What do you think?
Let's do it.
Do you want to call it left or gone? Just leave it as gone for now, or
Let's say gone. Yeah.
No notes. We're just gonna leave it. We're just gonna leave it. I don't know. No, it's a verb. I don't know it's an aspect. I have no idea. Loy must be anger unless, but we don't know what tagigiri means.
Seems like it. Well, let's see. We have some yi in the new one. Okay, no, just 1 hit for these 2 stories now. Never mind.
It could be gigiri. And ta could be an aspect or prefix or something.
Also for yi, yeah.
Absolutely puzzling. Let's go back for a second to just our interlinear text in the gloss view. We're going to see. No, we didn't get dogoria yet. That's where we were last time. We still haven't got dogoria.
3 hits. So we have a nun dogoria in the new one. Dogoro. You go to look for the biggest of them.
All right, let's see if we can do this in the concordance. I'm going to look for dogor.
Going to be look for or look. There it is. We do have it. We have look already analyzed.
Okay, so we're just missing dogoria.
Look for it. Yeah, it needs the analysis. So you'll go to analyze.
It's an allomorph of dogoro. Now, should we change the initial entry to dogor and recognize dogoro as an allomorph of dogor?
Great question.
Yeah, let's go to the lexicon to do that.
Great implications for the way we represent everything.
Maybe you can walk me through this again. So
Ah,
I
okay.
go down and I add an allomorph.
Insert.
And I'm going to insert
The one you want.
Dogor.
The lower triangle. Swap. Ta-da! So it's going to update there. There it goes.
Yeah. So let's go back to our text and words. We're going to search for Dogor. And we're going to use gloss so it's easy to see. Okay, so there's Dogoro. When we look at the Analyze tab for Dogoro, we see it has done well. Let's see what it does with Dogoria. Make sure everything looks right. That doesn't recognize anything yet.
That's right, because it hasn't seen that particular word form. Telling me this for the first time, but it knows it there once you look at it.
Yep, that's right. Yeah, we'll leave it like that for now. That's okay. This should be look it. Do you like look more or see? We have bati for see, right?
Yeah, that's right. They're different things. I would like look for this one. Actively exerting one's eyes.
The difference is that in English, look needs a complement that has a preposition. So you don't. I don't say like look the map. I say look at the map. But a second language speaker might say look the map. So maybe look doesn't inherently have that. So I'm going to say look it.
Okay.
Look it. You can sort of say that in English though. Look it. Look at the. Oh, but we're saying look at, and we're just yeah, look at.
Ash vowel, yeah.
Okay, okay.
Of the Maluku.
Well, that's slightly less fun. All right, let's go back to our interlinear text again. So we're trying to.
Oh my goodness, how intriguing. So, just looking ahead at the second text, there's lots of words with J there, some place names.
Nice.
Including R-I-J-O, Bangara, as a single word. Now in the English, it's going to spell that place name as R-I-N-J-O-B-A-N-G-A-R-A, Rinjombangara. That would seem to confirm my guess that J is a prenasalized stop.
Let's look right quick and say if it's a known place.
Oh, you've got an extra A in there. Not Banagara, but Bangara. Okay, that makes my day.
All we're getting is Kolombangara. Now, take one guess where Kolombangara is. Right over there is Gizo. So we're looking at right there. If we took the map a little farther left, so like right there's where it is. This little finger, that's where Ghanongga is, approximately.
Cool.
So I don't know if this is the place they're talking about. Bangara, here they're telling you it means water lord. Bangara is like a high rank, big man, so it could be translated as chief or king or something like this. Now this Rinjo is what interests me. Oop, oop, oop.
Ringi.
Yeah, Ringi Port Kolombangara. So yeah, Ringi is a spot on Kolombangara. So you can guess why I'm trip to Ringi Cove. But Ringi is, I think, what they call it in Robian. So they might call it something else in a different language. I think that our best bet. Oh, but here's a low-hanging fruit. Garatani. Let's go to analyze. Okay, so what we need to do is insert allomorph of Garat.
Garat, Garatani. Just do a backspace. There you go.
And then ni.
Ta-da! Fit him. So it seems like this tense marking may be more optional. Tense aspect marking. Because we don't have a 2 in that one. Yeah. That's interesting.
I will come them.
Come
them and kill them. Come to them.
Come to them, probably. Yeah.
Come to them and kill them. Nice. Now I wonder if having it attached is what gives you the kind of dative meaning or not. I don't think we can necessarily solve all that today.
Well, probably.
Do you want to go ahead and call go-to thing?
Goto. I do.
Let's call it thing. All right. Got a bunch of other stuff we don't really know about yet. We don't know if Ngandwe is hunt or Iga is possum. Yeah, I think what we're going to have to do is move into the next story to solve. I don't see any other low-hanging fruit here. Koi, maybe.
Wait, go back up. There was a Nulu. Nulu 2. There.
Nulu. Let's put this in.
Okay, go to gloss for us. Yeah. So they said, well, you will see a tree, a tall one there. Nulu.
But it's pa Nulu, so we know it's where.
Additional, yeah. Where the branch is dead, there's where you climb up. Uke was dead. Kitakoi. Keza.
Kind of like branch.
With the 2 following, makes me think Nulu is a verb, but what verb?
I don't think it's a verb because it's following the
Nulu.
the pa, the like main preposition we've seen. So I don't think it's a verb. Yeah, I think we mostly might have to move on to the next story. I know what uve is, by the way.
That is good. That's nice.
And koi might be like hey or something, or well. Hey, is that so? Well, you'll see. Well, you will see it, a tree. So this is almost like you will see it. This is almost like an OSV word order, but it's agreement complex type stuff. One extremely fun and fascinating thing about Ghanongga is all the stuff that comes before a verb. I've heard the term polyanalytic used before.
I have not.
As opposed to polysynthetic. But this is what we're talking about, I think, when we say polyanalytic. You get a string of particles. Some of them are pretty synthetic too, clearly, but more analytic? I don't know. Yeah, well, anyways, I do know what uve is, but I'm cheating because it's the same word in Roviana. So I've been leaving it. We may never get evidence, though, and if we never do, then I'll fill it in based on Roviana. Which someone else could do if they pulled up the Roviana story and they looked for this dictionary, which is freely online. They would see it means.
Yes. Oh, nice.
So that would be when you start getting really low, start scraping relative dictionaries. Now I lost our uve. Should be.
It was a short three-word line there.
I'll go to the concordance and look for it right quick. This will be our fast way to find stuff from now on. Uve. Click over on analyze. I'm going to go ahead and create the entry for it since we just used the Roviana.
Very well.
But the reason I wanted to do this was to show that, hey, is that so? Oh, yes. So yes could be, we use yes to mean like, do you want something in English? Hey, Tyler, yes. What do you want? Anyways, I think what we should do is stop our recording and enter in the text into our spreadsheet manually. That's very boring. There's no reason to watch that on our YouTube. And then when we resume the next one, we'll start searching the second story as quickly as we can, and we'll go back to the first story and try to solve these puzzles.
Sounds great.
All right. I'll see all of you later.